Over in the US, Joe Biden has vowed to stay in the presidential race despite his shaky performance in the first debate against Donald Trump. During a call with campaign staff, Biden reassured top Democrats in Capitol Hill that he is fit for re-election. And according to Democratic sources, he told worried members of his campaign team that he is not going anywhere. The president added that he remains the Democratic Party leader and is not being pushed out of the 2024 race. This after a New York Times report said that the president is weighing in on his decision to continue.
Is President Biden considering stepping down?
Absolutely not. And you heard, I believe, directly from the campaign as well.
Is the president telling people he's evaluating the race?
Absolutely false. That is absolutely false. I saw that reporting. We were not given enough time to get back to that reporting, just a couple of minutes, and we asked the president. The president responded directly when asked about this question because we said that we would, and the president said it is absolutely false. That's coming directly from him.
And Korea, President Biden has always promised to tell the American people the truth. So can you be straight with us and the American people? Is the president clear-eyed about what it takes to stay in the race and what it would take for him to drop out?
The president is clear-eyed, and he is staying in the race. I don't have anything else beyond that. He's staying in the race.
In the Democrats' camp, this is the first step away from uncertainty after Biden's debate debacle. Soon after the statement by the White House, national polls showed Biden's chances against Trump had deteriorated since the debate. A Wall Street Journal survey found Trump beating Biden by a margin of 48% to 42%. A New York Times Siena poll found Trump's lead over Biden had widened by 3 points and is now 49% to 43%. And in a CBS News poll, Trump has a 3-point edge over Biden across the battleground states collectively and a 2-point edge nationally. All of them agree on one point. The debate has, in fact, shifted the race in Donald Trump's favor. So even if he is still knee-deep in the electoral battle pit, Biden's next few appearances heading into the holiday weekend must go well. The president has an interview scheduled for Friday with ABC News that concerned Democrats will have an eye on. According to reports, House Democrat Jim Clyburn has said that the party should hold a mini primary if Biden steps aside. He is now the first senior party member to talk publicly about how replacing Biden as a candidate could work. Clyburn also said that he would back Vice President Kamala Harris as the presidential candidate if Biden were to depart. A handful of governors are potential rivals to Biden as well, but if pressure for him to step aside increases, Harris is the likely successor. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sent us this report from New York earlier. Listen to this.
As Americans celebrate the 4th of July holiday weekend, the White House continues to scramble to contain the fallout from President Joe Biden's debate performance, which has sparked concern not only among Democratic governors, but donors as well. In response, President Biden planned a meeting with Democratic governors in Washington and a trip to Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. However, some governors are seeking more direct conversations with Biden himself, expressing frustration with the lack of contact with the president and worrying about the impact on the party's chances moving forward. Meanwhile, the upcoming NATO summit in Washington next week is another test for President Biden himself, as his campaign hopes to shift the focus to America's international concerns. Now, the event will compete for attention with the U.S. presidential race as Biden's campaign faces scrutiny and Donald Trump's preparations for the Republican National Convention. The president is also expected to do a sit-down one-on-one interview with ABC News on Friday, the first after his debate. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.